Learning Zila Nishmas at Ahuva Bazakum Seches Kelim Perchov Gimel Mishnah Daled. Hamita, a bed, Vakar Vakeses, the pillow and the mattress, Shloimie of a mace. It was used to take out the mace. Hare Elu Tameya Medjus. They have Tumas Medjus on it. The Rash brings from the Tosefta that the reason is because Noshim Yoshvais Alav. And although this is a machlekes in the Tosefta, our mission is going like the Chachamim, that the mita of a mace is tameh because the women sit there, and the Tosefta continues in mevakes es maasein, they cry on their relatives that were nifter, and therefore since they sit on it during that time, it has tumas medjus. The Mishnah continues, kisei shel kala, the chair that a kala sits on, umishbar shel chaya, and when a lady's giving birth, the birthing bench that she's on, the kisei shel koivesh shel koirim, koivesh, different gerses over here, alav es hakelim. The Rash learns that we're talking about a press that was used to make the clothing flattened, ironed, and the Kesef Mishnah in Perich Hey Mishnah Beis says further, Mipnei sheyoshiv alav kishakelim b'seichoi lahadkoi kidei sheyichvushu es hakelim, that the person would actually sit on top of the board that was on top of the begadim in order to make it, to flatten it out even better. So it was sat on during that period of time. The koives would sit on it. Omar Reb Yosi ein behem mishum moishev. Reb Yosi in our Mishnah says that there's no tumas moishev, and we spoke out earlier, the Rosh says that the reason is because Einoi Osui Elu L'Chavid, by the Kisei of Kala, it's meant L'Chavid, and therefore it's only L'Fi Rega, temporary, V'chei Mishbar. The birthing chair also is Einoi Osui El L'Shas Leida, so it's temporary, and therefore it doesn't have Tumas Moishev. We also spoke out that Mishnah in Perich Beis, Mishnah Dalet says klar that there is Tumas on the kisei of the kala, and we said either over there was shar tumas or its mission over there is going not like Reb Yosi, and the Rambam Paskin is not like Reb Yosi. Matter of fact, the Rambam brings this whole Mishnah, all the cases meet the kar keses, and then continues with kisei shel kala, etc., and says they're all tamei tumas medjus. Two questions on this Mishnah, two other questions, is that the Mishnah in Perek Tes Vav, Mishnah Vav, said over there that there was a erase that was Tamei Moshev Mnei Shahayelis Yeshvas Alav, very similar to this beginning of our Mishnah that said that the Mita Shalmeis is Tamei because the women sit on there. And over there is also talking about B'shah someone's nifter, the Ayelis, the ladies that were crying would sit on it. And over there, the Rambam says, Ein halacha k'Reb Yehuda, since the kli wasn't meant to sit on it, so it doesn't have tumah. So the Sidrei Taira asks, why is it different than our Mishnah, where our Mishnah says, klar, it does have tumas medjus? That's question number one. The other question is the Chazon Ish asks a question from a Tosfos in Menachos on Daf Lamed Aleph, Amid Aleph, which brings that a sulam at the end of the long Tosfos over there says that a sulam doesn't have tumas medjus, and he says the reason is it's not meant to step on the ladder, he just goes up and down the ladder, but it wasn't meant for sitting. So the Chazon Ish asks from our Mishnah, from the case of the kisei shel koives, why is that any different? And the Chaim Kanievsky in Siach Hasada Chelik Gimel Masechah Shabbos Daf Peiches brings from his father, the Stipler, that the chilik is that over there, the sulam, he never really wanted to stay in one place. He really just wanted to go up or he wanted to go down. But over here, he wants to sit on the press. He wants to press the kelim. He wants to sit in some place, so he sits over here, and therefore it does have tumas moishev. Mishnah Hey is different traps. Acherim tamei mimnei hazutay. The Rash explains that this was a woven trap, and at a certain place it was a thick weaving, like that weaving of a beged, and therefore it would have tumah. The Rosh also says shechashiv beged will become tamei like a beged. Mishnah continues harishtes v'amachmares, which are different types of traps. The Rash says a mechmaris is like a bit, but madaf is a plank, like a mousetrap that we have, that the board goes down and slams on top of it once it goes inside. Palzer is also a different type of trap. Metzudas, hasacharim, tameim, they're all tamei. The Rosh says either betumas medrash or maybe it's dafka b'shar tumas. And the Mishnah ends off ha'akon v'arotav v'hakoliv, which are different tools that the trappers used, are tahar. The Rambam brings this halacha in Perek Hey, halacha Yid Aleph, hamadaf ha'palzer v'metzudas sacharim, mistamein, the cases, the traps that are tamei, sharei tzuras kli aleim, because they have a tzuras kli. And the cases that are tar, presumably because they do not have a tzuras kli. Chazanish and Simon Chav Zayin Sefkat Yinal says that we're talking about there's no base kibel, or they're not meant to carry what's inside of them, and therefore they are tahar.